Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Continuing our recitation on Lord Caitanya'S pastimes. Yesterday we heard about Lord Nityananda's meeting with Lord Caitanya, and continuing on the same today. All the devotees felt so much ecstasy at the union of Gauranga and Nityananda. They started to chant, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. In the higher planets, the denizens of heaven, the angels and the devatas, they were beating on drums and showering flowers. The lords had met in the auspicious Navadvipa Dham. Then they danced together and chanted throughout Navadvipa. The devotees were thinking, how is it that there are two Gaurangas now? One is wearing yellow dress and the other is wearing blue. One is golden yellow complexion and the other one is little yellow but almost the same. In this way, many people talked about the two of them. Then that night, they had the second meeting at the house of Chandrasekhara. The Lord was chanting at the house, and Nityananda came there. Again, upon seeing each other, they cried out to each other, Nitai, Gauranga, Nitai, Gauranga, Gauranga, Nitai. In this way, they cried out to each other, and they ran towards each other and embraced each other. Then Lord Caitanya again motioned to Srivasa. Nobody knew what he was saying. He didn't say anything. He just indicated something to Srivas Pandit. Srivas Pandit is so much in tune with Lord Caitanya. He knew exactly what Lord Caitanya wanted. And Lord Caitanya wanted Srivasa to chant a special kirtana for the pleasure of Nityananda Prabhu. So Srivas then started to glorify how Krsna and Balarama were with the cowherd boys in Vrindavan. As soon as Nityananda heard this, he became stunned. He couldn't move. He started crying out, Krishna, Krishna. He was just shaking and he was absorbed. As soon as he heard Balarama and Krishna, since he is an incarnation of Balarama, it was too much for him. So he became completely transported to Vrindavana just by hearing the pastimes of Krishna and Balarama in Vrindavan. And he was completely overwhelmed that he collapsed on the ground unconscious. Everyone rushed around him and started fanning him. Bring him water. What happened? Then Lord Caitanya said, you cannot wake him up in this way. He is not asleep. He is not unconscious. He is in deep ecstasy. He is in samadhi. Srivas, you have to go on chanting. All of you all have to chant. Only by chanting he will be revived. So then, hearing this advice from Lord Caitanya, they all went on chanting the glories of Krishna. Srivasa and all the devotees were chanting. Then Lord Nityananda started moving and coming back to external consciousness by hearing these pastimes. All of a sudden, Nityananda Prabhu jumped up and called out, Krishna, Krishna. He couldn't sit anymore. He jumped up and started running. Where is Krishna? Running here and running there. He was madly becoming anxious to meet Krishna. He became so absorbed in the pastime that he was like a cowherd boy running and looking for Krishna. Nityananda became so absorbed that he no longer knew where he was. He did not know that he was in the house of Chandrasekhara. He thought he was running in Vrindavan looking for Krishna. But in reality, In the external world, there was a house, the house of Chandrasekhara. There were trees and there were other things. He practically ran into all those different objects. He was not really conscious of them. He was completely in Vrindavana, running in Vrindavana, looking for his beloved Lord Krishna in Vrindavana. So the devotees were trying to protect him from smashing into these things, and he was laughing and crying and searching for Krishna. Lord Nityananda was jumping, and on one side the devotees were trying to tackle him, hold him, but he would break loose from all of them and then again try going looking for Krishna, running this way and that way, searching for Krishna in the forest of Vrindavana. Finally, Lord Caitanya went and held him, and then he became pacified. He was crying, and tears were pouring down his cheeks as he cried, "Oh Krishna, oh Krishna." Srivas was still chanting, and Lord Caitanya sat down and put Nityananda's head on his lap. Nityananda was in a deep mood of separation from Krishna. Then Lord Caitanya's tears started to pour down from his eyes, washing the dust from Nityananda Prabhu's face, and the devotees were all chanting. There was a deep, mellow mood of separation, Viraha Vedana. At this time, Lord Caitanya was so moved, he began to cry profusely. His ecstasy became more and more. Then Lord Nityananda sat up and put Lord Caitanya's head on his lap, and Lord Nityananda's tears were washing Lord Caitanya's face. Like this, on the second day of Lord Nityananda coming to Lord Caitanya, there was so much profuse ecstasy and transcendental love of Krishna that everyone around was filled with this ecstasy. And that ecstasy is the basis of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavana. Everyone in Vrindavan doesn't know that Krishna is God. They don't care whether Krishna is God. They just love Krishna. They love him as their son, as their friend, their Sakha, as their Prananath. The degree of their love is completely ecstatic. When they think about Krishna, tears fall from their eyes, their hearts melt, and they just run towards Krishna. They don't care about anything else. They just want to be with Krishna. All kinds of amazing pastimes were going on, and the first and second days of the meeting of Gaura and Nitai were very, very, very memorable. From that time on, they were inseparable. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.